What's up, everyone, and welcome to the new episode of B and J with your guest this week, me and Nick.
At the movies.
I know we're going to the movies. It's like obvious.
We watched the movie Good Time, starring Robert Pattinson and
I think it's
Benny.
Safdie brothers directed it.
I'm a mark for good opening scenes. They really stick with me, and this is already one of my favorite opening scenes of any movie ever.
extremely powerful.
It starts with a close-up of his face, and there's a lot of red hue to his face from blemishes or whatever it is, and red is a common color throughout this whole movie, as we find out later. His performance, without doing much, made me feel so much. Just his face had so much character to it. The way he spoke, the way his lips moved, everything, because it's such close in angle on them. So you study all the stuff going on in their face.
Did he come on set ready to go? Because that's one of the things you worry about as an actor. One of the things they teach you is how to go too far on the first take. If you're not there, the director has to build you up to that. And so he has to take you aside, he has to talk to you, he has to tell you things, talk about the character, explore it, and work your way up to that. Now, since he's the director, and I don't know if he's involved in writing or whatever, but he was on. So I don't know if it took him a while to get there or not, but he was on.
I thought it was just a remarkable scene with so little happening. Yeah. I felt like I knew this guy for 3 hours already, and we're like 10 minutes in the movie. What did you think about the bank robbing scene? I've been through a bank robbery myself when I worked at the bank.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Was it like similar to what happened in this movie?
Kind of like Nick did and his brother did in the movie, and he told him, don't do that. This guy runs out like crazy, runs out of the place, and the teller goes, ah! And I'm like, what happened? I just got robbed. And so...
What did the teller do?
Ah!
Like, if you know about, even I know that, if you go to a bank and you rob them, they're going to put either like those marked bills or fucking ink packs in there.
Yeah, but I didn't expect a cloud of red. No, I didn't know that existed. I thought it would just be a little... Psh.
Yeah, that's the thing about Safdie brothers, that the lighting, the aesthetics, the cinematography is very, I don't know how to explain, it's very real, and it's very specific to their style as well. It's like saturated, it's very New York.
That's it, New York, right? Like, how New York do you feel watching this movie? Like, they do a really good job bringing you into New York and the grit and the grime, and like, they did that fantastic.
To me, like at this point, it felt like Connie uses people in certain mental states or easy manipulated people.
Yeah.
But he has his way, and I feel like we all know someone like Connie, and like to a certain degree, you know what I mean? That can kind of like convince you to do something even though you're not down to do it.
The more it goes on, the less likable he is, for sure. Already he's not that likable. And it just keeps going. If I had to pick on something in this movie, I'd say there's those lulls. There was a lot of moments where it dips like real low. It builds really well. Those scenes, like you're saying, the beginning scene stuff, those build really well, get to 100, and then it comes down. You need to come down, sure.
Once again, here he has to use some more people, use the bus driver, uses the kind people getting on the bus, and then where do I go? Oh, let me use the nice lady that I met on the bus. Let me use her house. Let me use her phone. So now he's in this woman's house.
I was like, at this point, I was like, just stop. Just stop what you're doing, it's done.
And he's lucky his brother was out the whole time, unconscious the entire time.
He bleaches his hair. I would not necessarily go that far if I was invited to someone's house that desperate. I would not do that.
But he's anyone that he brings into his circle, even momentarily, he completely drains them and takes everything out of them. Like even literally out of their house. He just looks through their cupboards, takes whatever he wants.
Yeah, then he meets the young daughter.
That's when he meets
Granddaughter, yeah.
Granddaughter.
It was weird how comfortable she was with this stranger in her house.
Bad boy, good looking.
Yeah. I guess. Intriguing.
He had charmed her through that. He didn't just make out with her out of nowhere. I felt like he had charmed her a little bit before that.
Yeah, she saw dogs and he was like, oh, I feel like I was a dog in the past.
Yeah,
and I feel like that part was
thing.
like an important thing because I feel like there
100%.
was a bunch of dog references throughout the movie.
And it's important for the actor to know that this guy thinks he's a reincarnated dog.
Yeah, at this point, like it's like we're convinced that this guy is willing to do whatever it takes to get to whatever he wants.
And he's not really thinking like a dog. Like he's just like, where's he gonna go with any of this? Who knows? Just
And then after that little lull, creepy whatever moment,
Ray wakes up.
Ray?
That's his
the name?
That's his name. Actually, no. Oh, yeah, it is Ray. The actor is Buddy Duress. And what's his name? I forgot his name. What's the guy's name? Connie looks down on Ray. Yeah. Looks at him like scum or like a loser. Yeah, of course. An addict.
He fucked all his plans up.
And he doesn't believe that he's a criminal low life. Yeah. That guy is a criminal low life, not me. Yeah.
I feel like looking at Ray, he's looking at himself.
He is, but he will not.
He's ashamed of himself. Yeah.
That's why he immediately blocks it. That's not me. This guy's lower than me. He's scum criminal. I'm going to use him, get what I need from him, and drop him because I am obviously not. I'm not a criminal. I'm not a scumbag. Mm-hmm. You are.
Most dedicated security guard of all time.
What the hell is a security guard? Like, what do you?
It's from Captain Phillips. I forget the actor's name, but I'm the captain now. It's who it was.
That's another moment where you're like, this guy is that fucked up. It's an innocent security guard just doing his job. Not only does he beat the shit out of him, steal his clothes, get him arrested, he pours like a jug of acid in this guy's fucking face and mouth and nose. Like
at this point, it's like anger inside of me that I felt. I was like, stop.
Ray's getting drunk and he's just like you're drunk. You're addicted. You serve. And he's going on a diatribe about you're just a leech. He called him a leech. You do nothing for society. And my whole time I'm like, is he talking in a mirror?
Yeah, he's kind of talking to himself 100%. I feel like it's...
Because he's a leech too.
No, he probably hates himself that much, you know what I mean? Like, he really does. And that's why I said that I sort of relate, or not that I hate myself, but I just feel like he's human at the end of the day, and that's really the aspect that is very important, you know? If he was just an asshole and a leech and whatever, and they didn't humanize him, it wouldn't have been the same, you know, reaction to the movie. At this point, I just wanted it to be over. I just really needed peace in my life. That's really what I needed. So the fact that he got caught, I was like, okay.
Yeah, did I think he was going to get away? I really don't know. Ray tumbles to his demise as Connie's looking up at him and the cops look up at him. And then Connie's put in the back of the cop car. It was like 15, 20, maybe 30 seconds of him just in the back of the car, pondering in deep thought. Who knows what's going on? What do you think he's thinking?
I feel personally like that, like falling to his demise, however he called it, is maybe the ego death represented. And Connie realizes in the back of that car that he's like, okay, I gotta let go of that part of me, like now.
I think, based on the next scene we'll talk about, the final scene, I think he saw his brother falling. Like, he saw all this trouble he got into, that could have been his brother dying. And I think he was thinking like, all right, I need to take the fall figuratively and own up to the bank robbery, all this stuff, and clear my brother's name, say he had nothing to do with it. I manipulated him. Clearly he's on the spectrum or something. He didn't know what he was doing, and just take all that, go to jail, do something selfless so that he doesn't die.
You basically made your brother, implicit in all of your heinous crimes. You know, everything you did to the security guard, the girl, 16 years old, got arrested. Is all of this stuff going through his head in that moment? Is he thinking of a way, how can I get out of this? How can I lie? How can I say that these people were using me? This guy was a drug dealer.
Well, they left a lot for interpretation, you know what I mean? They gave you like nuggets, and then they're like, you know whatever you know and attach whatever reality you know to it. So the way you see it, the way I see it, the way you see it might be completely different.
There's giving a rating, right? If you were to give this a rating, fine. If you don't want to give it a rating like on 10 or on 5, whatever, you don't have to. Is this a must-watch movie to you?
In my opinion, I would recommend this movie to everyone I know. It's very entertaining. I have trouble like remembering scenes and chronologically and everything with movies sometimes, but this one I feel like everything stood out and I can put it in order, and I was waiting for each thing to happen. I've seen it 3 times and it doesn't feel like I've seen it 3 times. Like,
it's a must-watch for Robert Pattinson. This movie blew my mind in terms of his performance of being a New Yorker, first of all, because he's a British guy, and playing his role so well as like a regular hoodlum type dude.
I grew up in New York.
It was beyond recognition. It was crazy good.
I think it's a great movie. Yeah. I think it's a great film. It gives us so much, as we've talked about. There's so many things that we can analyze and do. And what is the actor thinking? What are the choices that they made? The directors do a fantastic job all around, through sound, through lighting, through the shots, the cinematography. Is it a must-watch movie? I don't know if it's a must-watch. Like, am I telling my friends, this is a movie you have to watch? No, but if you like cinema and you like film, then it's probably more of a must-watch.
he knows movies, and I'm a dummy that hasn't seen a lot of classics. So whatever, I'll be the dummy.
And I just show up when they tell me to show up.
Thank you for watching. Follow us.
Subscribe.